Hello and welcome to the BCM Examinations exam piece, Circus Suite. This piece is ideal for the diploma level for the keyboard examinations. Now this piece is actually in 3 movements, so we're going to be discussing all 3 movements in a separate way. Now just a little bit of guidance for all candidates before we start. Remember that the voices that are shown are suggestions only, and candidates are at liberty to change any voices that they want to, just to suit the make and model of their keyboard. And remember that any performances that you hear today is only intended as a guide only, and performers would be expected to experiment with their own keyboard settings to emulate different sounds of their own that you think would suit this particular piece of music. And of course, what you've got to remember as well is, because we're talking about a higher grade exam piece, that the keyboard has to be really exploited in many ways, which I will explain as we go through the piece. So do remember that we are expecting a detailed performance at this level. So I'd like to introduce you now to Craig, who has agreed to do the playing and be the guinea pig today. So thank you very much for that, Craig.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, so we're going to start with the Circus Suite, and we're going to start with the first movement, and I'm going to ask Craig to play the first movement to us, and then we'll have a discussion about it afterwards. So over to Craig. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay.
So we've got a piece of music here called the Circus Suite, which is actually in 3 movements. Now this actually tells a story, and the titles actually give you a good idea of what is expected for this. So you can see that the title of this particular movement is called the Grand Parade. So it helps, I think, to visualise exactly what you'd like to see in the Grand Parade, and that's why you've got that sort of march background that tends to go on with this. Now this piece is also on the Junior Bronze Medal keyboard examination as well, so people can play this movement on their own as part of the Junior Bronze. So let's have a look in this piece now in a little bit more depth. So first of all, what key is the piece in?
It's in G major.
It is. It's a strange one really, because the key signature actually says C major, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But it's definitely in G major because you have got F sharps going all the way through. Okay. Now the main problem with this piece, I find, if you're doing it for a Junior Bronze Medal, is that you have the triplets. So the triplets have to roll very quickly, and you have to make sure that they're nice and crisp, and you do count in the triplets. Now the other feature, what I think is quite important at this level, is to do with the dynamics. And you can see that you've got a forte sign right at the very beginning, so it's going to be quite loud. And so I think it's a good idea to actually have an expression pedal on your keyboard if you're actually using this piece as part of your higher diploma. It doesn't matter too much when you do the Junior Bronze Medal, but when you get to the higher diploma level, you should have a keyboard that is capable of changing dynamics and has an expression pedal to do that. Now luckily, we do have an expression pedal on this keyboard that we're using today. So if Craig would just like to demonstrate how to play something very loud on here by using the expression pedal.
Yep. So you're pushing it
So you push
forwards.
it towards the floor
Yep.
to get it loud, and then to make it quieter.
You push it
There
the
you
other way.
go, and you push it towards your heel. Like that. So always have your left foot on the expression pedal ready so that you can make these little nuances when you play. Because if you look a little bit later on at bar 18, you'll see you've got a diminuendo sign. So you can see that that little section there, you do need to do a diminuendo. So with your left foot, you just need to bring it down a little bit. But at bar 22, you can see it goes back up to the forte. And then you've got the crescendo at bar 28, and finally a double F sign at the end, fortissimo, so very, very loud when you get to the end there. So that's the dynamics. If you put those dynamics in, straight away you're going to get a lot more marks towards your examination. Now the other thing which is quite important with this piece as well is the fill-in button. Now you can see at bar 22 you've actually got a fill-in mark. Now most keyboards do have a fill-in, and I'm sure that Craig could just demonstrate one on the keyboard for me. So if you just set up and play a chord and then just press the fill-in. There you go. So if you put a few of those in the performance, it will certainly help to get a little bit of detail in. Remember that detail means distinction. That's a very good phrase to remember. Right, so maybe Craig, if you'd like to just perform it again now, and see if you can focus on the dynamics and the fill-in.
Okay. Oops, try again. There we go.
Thank you very much. And that concludes the first movement of the Circus Suite.